Okay. Oh, you leave that. So what we're doing today, factoring trinomials, which is say we want to find the roots of this one here. We don't have a perfect square anymore, but I want to simplify this down so that it looks like x plus m, x plus n. Okay. So I want to be able to make this out so I can set it equal to 0 and I can find my two roots from m and n. So the key here is we want m plus n to equal this middle term, or this middle coefficient. So in this case, we want it to equal negative 17. And at the same time, we need the product of those two numbers to be our C value. So we want m times n to equal 72. Okay. So the way we do this usually, we say, what are the, make ourselves a little table here. And we say on one side, factors of 72. So two numbers that'll give me 72. So I know I've got 1 and 72, 2 and 36. Help me out here. 3 and 24. Yeah, because 3 days is 72 hours. 4 going to that? Yeah. 4 and 18. And then what else? What else? We got 8 and 9. Okay. And then I want to know what is the sum of those values. So 1 plus 72 is 73. And now here's the key. As we're looking for, we need the sum to be negative 17. If it's not 17, it's not the right answer. So this isn't it. 2 plus 36 is 38. That's closer, but still not it. 3 plus 24, 27. Getting better all the time. 4 plus 18 is 22. And 8 plus 9 is 17. Well, here we go. So this is pretty good, but it's positive. But that's okay, because if the positive values are factors, then we can switch the signs and say negative 8 times negative 9 gives us negative 17, and then this is what we're looking for. So we could say m is negative 8, so we can say this factors to x minus 8, and then x minus 9. Okay. And if you used FOIL, if you FOILed this all out, you would get right back to where you started. This is what we're looking for. Okay. Do you have to make this chart every time? No. You can kind of look at it. You can use your good math skills to try to take your best guess instead of having to list out all of them. A couple rules to keep in mind. If C is positive, then your two factors have to have the same sign. And if B is negative, as we saw, then both of them have to be negative. If B was positive, both would be positive. But now if we take another example to look at some rules here, that one, they're both negative. I don't like that one too much. Let's do one where it's one positive, one negative. Okay. So if C is negative, right? Two numbers multiply together to give us a negative. One of them has to be positive, one has to be negative. Okay, so we're looking for factors of 30. Factors. This one is not quite as many. So 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10. All right, some commas in there. But when we add those together, we know one of them has to be negative to make this actually equal 30. But since our sum is positive, right, the bigger of the two values has to be positive. Like if we say 30 minus 1 is 29. That's not right, but it's positive. If I switch this around, for some reason, if I said my factors were positive 1 and negative 30, then this would be negative 29, and that doesn't make any sense at all because it's not even possible, right? So I know, instead of having to list out every single thing, I know that I'm going to have one positive factor, one negative factor, and that negative factor has to be the smaller of the pair. Okay? So if I check the rest of these, 15 minus 2 is 13, that's not it. 10 minus 3 is 7, and that's what we're looking for, right? So here are two factors. So we would just say x minus 3 times x plus 10. And that's not exactly what the answer is, but they just switched it around, which is the same thing. So this would just be A. Okay? So the more you do this, the easier to get. Hopefully you see what's happening here, even if that explanation seemed kind of confusing. If you just try some of these, you'll start to see the patterns we're looking for. The key thing is we want two numbers, right? And we want those two numbers to multiply what's at the end, and we want them to add up to this middle coefficient. That's what we're looking for. That's our factors. If you get stuck, since these are all multiple choice, right, you could always skip the factoring part, just FOIL out all of your answers and see which one gives you your original function. It's not the most efficient way, but it will get you your answers. All right, if you get stuck, let me know.